Hello, I'm Carl Bradshaw, and this is Chaparral Motorsports, and today we're out here for another tire test. Today we're taking a look at the Avon TrekRider tire. This is going to be Avon's 50/50 tire that's going to go head-to-head with the Continental TKC80, the Motoz Tractionator Adventure, the Bridgestone AX41. It's going to be a true 50/50 tire. Now, earlier in the week, we tested the TrailRider tire from Avon that has similar tread designs, but very, very different characteristics. So when it comes to the technical features of this tire, it's significantly less technical than the TrailRider tire that was really developed to be the best performing street tire that you can pretty much find for a big adventure bike. But we're missing features like the radial technology, we're missing the advanced variable belting, we're missing the 3D siping, we're missing the multiple compounds. But what Avon says is this tire is going to give you anywhere between 5,000 and 12,000 miles depending on the type of bike that you're riding on. I know that range is huge, but it really depends on the weight of your bike, how you're riding the tire, your air pressures and all that stuff. So the average rider between 5,000 and 8,000 miles, we'll say, is what you can expect to get out of this tire. When looking here at the front tire, you're going to notice this unique tread pattern they have here. This is a V-style tread pattern that allows this tire to have great grip off-road. You're also going to notice that the tread pattern on the front here looks like it's backwards. You'd expect these chevrons to be going forward. The reason that this tread pattern is like this is so that you get even wear, and that's what Avon says. You can run this tire all the way down to the wear bars and not have any cupping or uneven tread wear. That's a huge, huge problem with some of the other 50/50 tires in the market. Let's go take a look at the back. Moving around to the back, you're going to notice a couple things. We're going to notice a very similar tread pattern to that of the front tire, but the angle or the direction of the tread is reversed of what we saw up front. This is going to be a tread pattern that's going to dig in nicely and then have a solid or a continuous dig as this tire gets down into the dirt. It's going to dig right here at the front and propel media out the sides of the tire here. It's a neat design from Avon. They say it works extremely well, and today we're going to be putting it to its test. The other thing you're going to notice is this edge here isn't straight up and down. It's actually beveled, very similar to the front tire. That's going to allow this to be able to scoop dirt, number one, and number two, it's not going to be abrupt on the tops. That's going to allow this tire to be able to not chunk as much as those that have a very straight or flat front leading edge. All right, we're all loaded up here at Chaparral Motorsports, ready to head out and put a testing to these Avon TrekRider tires. These are going to be Avon's 50/50 tire, single compound tread. But that compound is a nice sticky compound. Pulling out of the gate, these tires break over very similar to those of the TrailRider tires that we were on earlier this week. Again, that TrailRider is going to be their street specific or their mainly street tire. And this is going to be your mainly dirt 50/50 tire. The biggest thing that I'm curious about is how sticky this single compound is going to be once we get it up into the twisties. I was super impressed with that TrailRider tire, so hopefully this TrekRider doesn't disappoint either. The grooves on this tire are significantly deeper and wider than that of the TrailRider tire. So it's going to be interesting to see if I get any more road noise from this tire than I got from the other. According to Avon, there shouldn't be any difference in the noise that we get from this tire over the TrailRider. So putting that to the test will be a good thing, as most 50/50 tires are actually pretty loud when you get them out here on the pavement. See, that freeway is completely stopped. And we have the exit ramp moving up here, but the rest of it, if you look at that cement truck, he is not going anywhere at all. Alright, well, because the freeway was jacked up and we weren't able to get up to freeway speed, we'll have to see what the rain grooves feel like when we go from here over to the Highway 18 turnoff. It's going to be our next chance to get up to freeway speed on those cement rain grooves that are treacherous on some 50/50 tires. But right now, before we hit any high-speed freeways or any curvy, twisty canyon roads up there in the mountains, it's time to jump off into the sand wash here and get these tires properly scrubbed in. definitely a quicker pickup than the TrailRider tire. I don't know how much quicker, but oh yeah, we definitely get propelled forward quicker than we did on the TrailRider tire. That is for sure. Stopping feels a little bit better than on the previous tire. Getting a little bit of wiggle on the back end on that full acceleration. Lots of animal prints for sure. Better than the TrailRider, but not as good as some of the other tires we've had out here. Still getting quite a bit of wiggle. We are definitely getting better forward push though. Ooh. All right, let's go ahead and stop right here. Ooh. Ready? As compared to, so we have a comparison takeoff in that, and basically that same spot but going the other direction on the other tire. Take a look at that and see how much quicker this tire went forward than the other one. Still getting quite a bit of side-to-side sidewinder action though. I guess I'm not too surprised because the tread pattern is very, very similar, but I did think we were going to have less of that type of shimmy that we're getting up here on the front end and the back end. So I guess the takeaway is the grooves are bigger, so forward propulsion is better, but because that tread pattern is pretty much the same, or very similar I should say, there are some differences. One's a solid bar, the other one kind of cuts across. These tires need a side lug. They need a side lug really bad. Little hill climb action here. The ground is, it's been 2 days since we were out here last. This ground is softer, but I'm not anticipating this to be any, oh shit! Woo! The ground is a lot softer than it was when we were here a couple days ago. Almost didn't make it up. Significantly softer than just 2 days ago. Now, due to the fact that this is a bias ply tire instead of a radial tire, and the fact that we have a single compound instead of multiple compounds, I'm really curious to see how this tire is going to handle over these rocky sections as compared to the TrailRider tire. That TrailRider tire conformed extremely well up over the rocks. It actually did better than a lot of the even more dirt-oriented tires that we've tested, which was pretty impressive. We're definitely not having really good front tire bite. Just kind of slipping around all over the place. Same thing in the rear. We're getting that sidewinder action on this tire. Oh, fighting it. All right, same exact track we took yesterday. In fact, we're pretty much riding. I'm gonna say that this tire is less conforming than the radial tire that we were on. I'm bouncing around more on this TrekRider tire than I did on the TrailRider tire. Oh! Oh, come on! Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, almost saved it. Still takes a while, but it is quicker because of the slightly deeper tread grooves than the TrailRider tire. All right, so now we're up here testing high-speed cornering or slow-speed cornering, or being able to come into corners, brake, come through the corner itself, and how this tire exits coming out of the corners. I can already tell you the sidewall feedback of this TrekRider tire is significantly more vague than that of the TrailRider tire. That TrailRider tire was completely spot on. Man, it was a super comfortable tire, gave great feedback, and I'm not experiencing that on this TrekRider tire to date. The same amount of throttle down today. Oh, skipped out just a hair right there. I'm laying down the same amount of throttle today as I was laying down when I was on the TrailRider tire, and I'm getting less feedback from the front tire and the rear tire. The sidewall is much stiffer, and I'm just not getting that real great feedback from the road. The second thing I'm noticing is I do not have the same amount of traction leaned all the way over as I did on that other tire. I definitely feel like the compound on the side of this tire is harder and way less forgiving than that of the TrailRider tire. Alright, it looks like somehow in my getting back on the motorcycle, I had switched, or the settings got reset, and I now have traction control on and ABS is on. So the feeling that I was getting was I wasn't able to get as much power to the ground as I had been feeling with the other tire, but strictly because, well, not strictly because, one of the reasons would have been I had helping controls accidentally turned on. There we go, that feels better. So I was getting slippage out of that rear tire, and the motor was retarding itself, and that was making me feel like I wasn't putting as much power down to the ground. Now, I was able to feel the tire slipping a little bit, but that was even after traction control was doing its job. Now we have traction control and ABS off. It's going to be interesting to see how much cut loose we get when we accelerate out of these corners. Again, I'm not able to get that front end to come up. Giving it, it's right there. I'm feeling the bike push a little bit, but I'm not getting that front end to come up or that back end to stick like it was on the TrailRider tire. So really interesting, taking a look at the tread of this tire, you can see that we are completely wearing away this leading edge here by getting into it in these corners. We're definitely feeling slip. You can actually see the sideways movement, or the grain of the ground actually making a like a 45-degree angle coming up off these. You can see we chewed into that one pretty good. This one here too. But leaned over, this tire is actually drifting just a little bit. It's actually losing just a little bit of traction out there, and that's a feeling that we did not feel on the TrailRider tire. You can actually see a couple little vertical lines here kind of proving that same point. Interesting. Taking a look at the front tire, what do we have going on up here? This felt like it was sticking to the ground pretty good. I didn't have any problems with the front tire. Again, the only thing that I think I feel different on this is the fact that I'm not getting as much sidewall feedback. Got a little bit of brake loose right there in the middle of that corner. Dude, take a look at this tire. I knew I was feeling it, just like you see on a track tire. Take a look. Traveling up that road, we actually got this tire so gummy that the rubber was melting off at each of the corners. All right, now we're going to get to our first gravel roads of the day. Now, along the same lines I talked about earlier when running over those larger river rocks, I do feel the bike bouncing around a bit more today than I was feeling yesterday. Again, that has to do with the sidewall construction, the bias versus radial, the variable belt technology. All of that goes into how this tire is feeling while running across the rocks that are on the top of this road. Now up and around this next corner is the little jump that we hit. I'm hoping that I can get a little bit more lift from this back tire. Now we're going to be rolling up on the rockiest section as far as these smaller baby head type rocks. Ooh, just cut out sideways right there. Taking a look at the TrailRider footage versus this footage, you've got to be able to see the amount of bounce that we're getting off the top of these rocks versus the tire conforming around them. I can't believe how big of a difference the carcass construction is making as far as the comfort and the rideability of this tire goes. Now the straight line forward momentum push that I get from this tire is significantly stronger than the previous Avon tire, the TrailRider. This TrekRider is definitely stronger when it comes to pushing the bike forward. But when it comes to side lugs and being able to have side traction, it's pretty close to the same. All right, here we come up to the hill climb. Going to be in second gear, a little bit of speed here. See how she does. Now for this downhill section, I'm going to go ahead and do this on the brakes as I would if I was on a fully loaded machine. Panniers, top case. Right now I'm getting a little bit of cut sideways from that rear tire. It's definitely sliding more than I would like. Whew. I'm going to move them side to side for sure. So this run now is going to be from the bottom of the hill, from basically a stop, trying to make it up. Oh shoot, I just pitched sideways and lost my traction. Now I'll go ahead and come down with a little bit more speed than I did before. Tire is not sliding out as I have experienced with some tires with a similar tread pattern, so that's kind of nice. That back tire though, it's all over the place. Now I was expecting this TrekRider tire to perform so much better off-road than the TrailRider tire, but I have not experienced that. When it comes to the off-road performance, I'm really thinking that they're really close as far as the amount or the percentage of off-road that the tires can do. I mean, the tread pattern's a little bit different. This one here I thought would give me much greater hookup than I've been experiencing today. I mean, in the soft stuff, it does propel me forward faster and better. That is 100% true. But as far as the side traction performance, I mean, I think they're pretty equal as far as that goes. But when it comes to on-road performance and how the tire performed on tarmac, man, that TrailRider tire has this guy beat hands down. And then when traversing these gravel roads that had rocks on the top, the TrailRider did a really good job. That radial construction allowed that tire to kind of wrap around the rocks instead of bounce over the top. I was really impressed. I can tell you that this is a good value price tire for about, whoa! See, right now, oh my gosh, I'm bouncing all over these rocks, sliding all over the place, not able to really get good stopping. I did not have that feeling yesterday. I did not have that feeling on the TrailRider tire when I was in the same exact section of the trail. I cannot get this thing to stop. Dude, come on, work with me here. So personally, I mean, if I had a choice between the two different Avon tires, Even if I was going to go do some pretty extreme off-road, I think that I would pick the TrailRider over the TrekRider, just because I think it's a more rounded, all-around tire. This guy here is a 50/50 tire, but I think it does have some compromise built into it, unfortunately. All right, we've now found ourselves some notorious California rain groove cement. As you can see by the lack of movement or the super stableness of my handlebars and the lack of deviation of that front tire as the lines are moving underneath of it, this tire is not susceptible to the line groove wiggle that we do have on a lot of the 50/50 tires that we've tested. Well, the shadows are getting long. We've just arrived back to Chaparral Motorsports after putting an entire day's testing on these Avon TrekRider tires. Now I'm going to say that the TrekRider tires here from Avon are pretty much a true 50/50 tire. I almost wish that I ran these tires first and had an expectation of what to expect, and then rode the TrailRiders the next day, and would have been completely blown out of the water at how well those tires did as compared to these. Now again, we really have to step back. The technology in these tires, it's a bias ply tire, it's a single compound construction. It just doesn't have the technology built into it that the TrailRider tire did. Now, this is a great off-road dirt tire. It could have used a little bit of help in the deep sand. We're kind of fishtailing all over the place like we did with the TrailRider tire. On the pavement, it did a great job as well, except when I was putting the max power that I could put down to the ground, and then I started to feel it slide sideways. But where I really struggled with this particular tire is that bias construction. I wasn't getting that road feedback that I had come to expect from the Avon tire that had run previous to this one here. Anyway, it's a great all-around tire. It's going to get you some great longevity. According to Avon, like we talked about earlier, so between 6,000 and 10,000 miles. So if you're looking for a good all-around tire for your adventure bike, take a look at the Avon TrekRider tire. If you're looking for something that has a little bit higher performance for the street characteristic that you're looking for, go with the TrailRider. Anyhow, that's what I got for you today. I'm Kyle. This is Chaparral Motorsports. If you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up. And if you want more action like this coming directly to your inbox, please hit the subscribe button, but more importantly, the notification bell so you can be part of the notification squad. Until next time, and as always, take care and ride safe out there.